Only God was scary. God was way scarier than they thought. And they said to Moses, yeah, we don't want a relationship with this God. You go have a relationship. Moses, go do your thing. And you come back and tell us how it was.
Right.
And you come back and maybe give us some rules as to how to live. Tell us what we should do. But we don't like this guy up on the mountain with the thunder and the lightning and the lions and tigers and bears, oh my. We don't like that. We don't like that. You go do it. You've already met with him. You obviously have a relationship with him. You keep that up. We're good. But God had invited them to come out and have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
God had invited them to be in fellowship with him. God had invited them to have a way, a variation of walking with him in the cool of the day, just like he had with Adam and Eve. But they didn't want that. So Moses goes up to the mountain and he tells the children of Israel, because God told him, don't cross this line. If this seems familiar, it was my sermon from like 3 weeks or a month ago. He says, don't cross this line. Okay? God says, don't cross this line. Don't come out of the mountain. If you're not going to have a relationship, don't cross this mountain. I'm kind of blurring a few different things together, but it's basically what happened. So Moses goes up onto the mountain to meet with God. And after a while, the Bible doesn't exactly say how long, they say, hey Aaron, who was Moses' brother, they say, you remember we didn't want a relationship with that God? Well, whatever we were worried about probably happened to this Moses guy, because he never came back. So we want a God, a different God. We want a God made after something that we can control, that we want. We want a God in our image, the way we think God should be. Because after all, when you make your own God, who gets to control your own God? You do. So they said, yeah, we want a different God, and we'll follow that God. We don't know what happened to Moses, but we don't like his God anyway. And Moses is up on the mountain, and God's telling him, you know those people that you left down there that didn't want to have a relationship with me? They're up to all kinds of stupid. Maybe you should go back and deal with this. So he comes down, he's got the 10 Commandments, right? You're Charlton Heston, you got the 10 Commandments, you got the chest hair blowing in the breeze, and here I am, right? You got your big styrofoam tablets. I'm sure they were styrofoam in Hollywood. And what's the very first thing it says? I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other God before me. And where's he going? He's going down the mountain to where they are having a God of their own making. And by the way, they've crossed the line. So they're like partying like rock stars on the mountain, which they've been told not to do, with the God of their own image, of their own making, like they've been told not to do. You ever heard the expression, I think this is the way the 10 Commandments are translated in some. By the way, they're not 10 Commandments, they're 10 blessings. If you live by those, you'll be blessed. If you don't, well, you know, deal with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, but have you ever heard, thou shalt have no graven image before me?
Yes.
You know what the word graven means? I didn't know. I had to look it up. A graving tool is a tool, yeah, you know. It's a tool that you tool metal with. And it's specifically made so that you can make your own God. So you shall have no image of God that you made. You're supposed to have God's image. So he sends him down. Moses goes down. And Aaron had made that God for the people. The people came to him and said, we want another God. We don't like this God. And they said, what do we do? He said, give me all your gold. The gold, by the way, that was a gift from the Egyptians when they left. They didn't have gold of their own. They were given it. It was a gift. It was something that they gave. And Aaron said, yeah, give me your gold. So he gets the gold. He melts it down. He takes this graven image and he makes a golden calf out of it. What does a calf symbolize? Remind me. If I don't tell you where the calf came from in the next 2 minutes, remind me, because I get carried away. So they made a calf, a golden calf, and they were worshiping it, that Aaron made. And Moses comes down, and he doesn't say anything to the people. He slams the tablets down, breaks them, and says to Aaron, the guy he left in charge, dude, what the hell? And Aaron said, oh, you know what? The people came to me and they said they didn't know what happened to you, and they wanted a new God leader, and I said, give me your gold, and then I threw the gold in the fire, and out popped this calf. But Moses already knew that that wasn't what happened, because God told him. Out popped this calf? Out popped it. Yeah, we were just walking along, and yeah, that's the ticket. A calf just jumped out of the fire at us, and we started worshiping it. He lied his ass off straight to his brother's face. How many of you have brothers? I do. I would know when my brother was lying.
I do.
Yeah, my brother wasn't a good liar. Oh, all right, I can see the resemblance. Anyway, so Moses knew what was up. And God, more importantly, God knew what was up. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish the sermon, and then golden calf. Moses took the golden calf. He ground it down into powder. He put it in water, and he made every single person involved in the rebellion drink it. And you're like, okay, so what? Well, it's a form of communion. It's no different than Jesus saying, drink, this is my blood. How did they get into the desert in the first place? Because of Passover. And what did they do at Passover? They ate the Passover lamb, and they took the blood and they put it on the doorpost so that the death angel. And if you want to hear this fully explained, cheap plug, go to my YouTube channel. There's like 3 or 4 videos on there that have been posted in the last month specifically about this. Just Google my name and YouTube and you'll get there.
What's your name?
My last name is Archambault.
Archambault.
Just like it sounds. Spells just like it sounds. It's Mark with a K, Archambault. Archambault. I'll give you a business card from the cup, and you can read it. But yeah, just it's. I think the YouTube channel I'm using right now is @Archambault Mark. I think that'll get you there, because I have like 5 of them for different things. But it's a form of communion. It's really no different than what Jesus said. When Jesus said, drink, this is my blood, he was saying, come be a part of me. Come have me as a part of you. You and me and you. And Moses was saying, really, this is the God you want? You want a God after your own making? You want a God after your own idea? You want a God that you think you can control? You drink it. You take it. You make it a part of yourself. Same thing. There's a lot of covenants in the Bible, by the way. There's a lot of communions in the Bible. But those are all for different. Okay. 1 Kings 16, and then we're going to end for the day. I'm not even out of my introduction. I love this. Okay. 1 Kings 16, 32. So, why was Ahab such a horrible person? Well, it tells you. First off, it tells you that he was worse than the worst guy they ever had before him. Jumping Japanese Jesus.